All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to Geography. This is a product of KAWA in partnership with the National Curriculum Development Center. Right now, we're going to focus on Introduction to Senior 1 Geography, and I am going to take you through the teaching syllabus so that learners can know the topics which are supposed to be taught, so that even if the teacher has not covered, one can be able to learn on his or her own. So what I'm doing today is simply to take you through the teaching and learning syllabus, simply an outline of topics. So the Geography of Senior 1 is made up of 11 units. Unit 1 is about Introduction to Geography, which focuses on simply the definition of geography, then the importance of geography, the sources of geography. By the way, as I speak here, you have your notes clearly outlined there, and you should be able to follow what you have there. Now, topic 2 is about elements of a map. So, you know, when you are dealing with the map reading and photographic interpretation, it is important to know the elements of a map. So, what is a map? What are the elements of a map? Those are some of the subtopics to be covered. We shall look at the symbols and the signs used on maps. We shall also focus on drawing sketch maps, like the ones you see there. We shall also focus on indicators of relief on maps. This will be followed by maps and aerial photographs. And finally, we shall do an outline and an assessment to see whether you are understanding or not. Now, this will be followed by the understanding of the Earth and the universe. And the Earth and the universe is Unit 3. It focuses on the components of the universe, the Earth's movements and their consequences. It also looks at the latitudes and the longitudes. And in the physical geography there, we shall talk a lot more about understanding the Earth and the universe. Then Unit 4 is about the structure of the Earth. And this structure of the Earth takes us to the components of the Earth. And there we shall end with how relief works. Then Unit 5 is about the forms of relief, defining relief, looking at things like the slope, altitude, and contours. Forms of relief, all this will be covered. And that will take us to do an analysis on rocks. So Unit 6 is about rocks, and this will help us to focus on the definition of rocks, types and characteristics of rocks of different types, and then the importance of rocks. Then, after studying rocks, of course, we now have to go to look at soil. So, definition of soil is Unit 7. Factors influencing soil formation. We shall also look at soil properties and constraints. Then we shall look at soil structure, then the effects of soil on human activities. And then we shall move further to go to Unit 8. And Unit 8 is about weather and climate. And the weather and climate will require us to understand what an atmosphere is, what weather is, and what we mean by climate. And under that topic, we shall look at atmosphere. Another thing to look at there is element of weather and climate. We shall also look at the weather station and its instruments. You look at one image there. You shall look at temperature, look at precipitation. We go further to focus on the water cycle, the atmospheric pressure, look at humidity, winds, clouds, sunshine, the factors that influence climate, climate zones of the world, and finally the impact of weather and climate on human activities. That one you can even be able to watch some videos and you'll get everything flowing well. After that, we shall go to Unit 9, which will focus on vegetation. We shall define vegetation. We shall look at classification of vegetation, and the factors that influence the distribution of vegetation. We shall go further to look at the importance of vegetation and the relationship between vegetation and human activities. Then Unit 10 is about the general organization of hydrography. Hydrography simply refers to the distribution of water bodies. So we shall start by defining drainage. Then we look at water bodies. We look at the major rivers of the world. We look at the river profile, the drainage patterns, and the relationship between water bodies and human activities. And Unit 11 is about the major natural hazards which affect man in his environment. And there we shall define the hazards, look at the types of hazards, and the response by man and the government against the hazards which affect man. And the last topic is about population and settlement, where we shall look at population and its features, the definition of population, the population structure and the composition, the population distribution and the density, population growth, settlement, types of settlements, and migration. And of course, we shall also look at the number of economic activities which all human beings do, those which bring in income, and those where there is need for support for people to improve. And of course, the last one will be the importance of economic activities. I would like to thank you for your kind attention. In the next video, we shall focus on Introduction to Geography, which is our Unit 1.